I'm trying so hard. I'm trying so hard not to laugh right now. Especially because your face. This has to be the intro.
I feel like when siblings, that was cuando like you like each other's first one.
And you just can't.
Yes, he. Okay.
Serio.
Okay. Welcome to the Dazed and Confused podcast with your host Diana Cano, where we normalize being dazed and confused at any stage in life. To be curious and to seek constant improvement, everyone is welcome here. Welcome back to the Dazed and Confused podcast. I am here with Brenda.
Yay, me.
Yay, you're my host today. Co-host.
Co-host. Guest, special guest.
My special guest.
Because you know I'm pretty special.
Exactly. Okay. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. So, my name is Brenda Gonzalez with the Z, because everyone messes that up. But anyways, that's a whole nother story. I am your friend.
Yes.
Yes,
you're my
friend. Yeah, I'm a teacher. I have a lot of hobbies. Some of them include hitting my friends.
Choking Diana out.
Yeah.
And he'll hook her.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. That's
right. Sounds about right.
You're right.
Yeah. Okay. So, who is Brenda underneath the labels?
Ooh, that's a good question. Brenda, is this like a family-friendly podcast? Can I curse?
Oh, you can curse.
Okay, yeah. So Brenda's a little fucked up in the head.
We all are.
We all are. Others.
See, but we all are.
True. But I think who I am underneath is someone who like strives to be a better person in like all aspects of my life. And I'm really hard on myself. But I don't know. I value family. I value having fun. I love having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot. But I don't know. That's pretty much it. I mean, I want to be a good person.
Yeah.
I want to make people smile. I want to smile. I'm a mom, you know? And that means a lot to me.
Right, it is. Yeah. It is a huge responsibility.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I think I told you this when I met you, because it's like props to you, because I feel like it's something hard that not a lot of moms get like recognized for it. I personally find it like super hard. I don't know, I feel like I see what my mom went through, like what other moms go through, you know, in this modern age, and I just feel like it's a lot for one person. It's like it's a lot for one person to handle, and I just feel like props to y'all, because like I can barely with myself. You guys have, like humans depending on you.
And I appreciate that. And yeah, it's hard. I think I'm actually really lucky because my kid is really independent and she's smart. She just, she just does her own thing. So I don't really have to work too hard as a parent. But when I see moms with like 2 or more kids, I'm like, you're superwoman. Because that's hard. Like, not only do you have to take care of 1 kid, but then it's like 2. And then they fight. And then what if one, and then they get jealous. And then what if one get hurt? And then what do you do with that? It's like,
yeah.
Props to all moms, especially single moms.
Yes.
And single dads. They don't get a lot of recognition.
Because there's not a lot of them. No. Sorry.
The truth came out. The truth came out.
But for the ones that do, because there is some good daddies out there, yes. Props to them.
I've definitely seen some single dads out there.
Props there, yeah. Oh my god. Okay, so what is, going back to teaching,
okay,
what is one lesson that your job has taught you that you think everyone should learn at some point in their life?
That's a good question. So right now I'm a kindergarten teacher, but I was like for maybe 5 years in like a psych ward for children, and that has taught me that I see a lot of parents and just adults in general, when there's children around, their children are pretty much ignored. Or
neglect.
or the adults are talking about some scandalous stuff, and then it's like you forget there's a kid there.
Yeah.
And granted, everyone has like their own, like, how they raise their children, but the point is that they tend to look over kids, and forget, like, they have a voice, they have boundaries, they have wants, they have needs. It's not just raising them, it's also respecting them as human beings. And they have rights.
Oh, I'm gonna cry.
And I feel like, and you see it at parties, like, like no, the one that's like going up to the children, playing with them, be like, oh, he or she must really love kids, they're playing with them. And it's like, well, I mean, yeah, but they're also acknowledging, like, that there's other humans in the party that aren't just adults. So I guess that right there, it's like, stop what you're doing sometimes. Like, look down at your kid and be like, hey, let's have a conversation. Or I don't know, like, they can go deep. They might not know a lot. They might not like developmentally be there, but you can get some, like, good conversations if you actually treat them like a human.
That is true.
So that's one thing that definitely it's like a big deal.
I remember, like, a long time ago when I was doing my volunteer hours. I was working at a Boys and Girls Club. I don't know if you guys have those here, but we have those in Texas, over there in Texas. So what I noticed, like, with the kids, it was like there was a lot of neglect, and the kids were like almost like the things that would come out of their mouths as a kid. I was like, what? Like
what?
Like, I don't know. Like, it just, I don't know. I don't remember, like, having stuff like that in my mind when I was a kid. Like, it was almost as like they were tiny adults, like almost too woke, too into like what's happening socially. And it's like, I don't know. It was,
they say some wild stuff, like
they do, like, out of pocket and stuff. And like, they're 5 and they already know, like, some of, like, teams that I didn't know when I was a kid. Like, so it was just like, wow, like, like, they really are absorbing everything that they hear their parents talk about, even if they don't think they are. But I remember being like, wow, I don't know if that's legal. Pero bueno.
I can go like another whole podcast just telling you what I've heard kids say in my classroom. But like one kid, she's like random, kids like are playing in the fucking recess, and then they're singing like ring around the road something, right? No, this little girl's como si nada, like nothing, just like chilling, and she's like, my humps, my lovely lady lumps, my humps. And I'm just like, I'm looking around like, what the fuck am I hearing right now? A little 4-year-old like, my humps, my lovely lady lumps. And I was like, oh my God, like, your mom would be mortified. But my kid actually said something really funny. She fucked me up. So I was taking her to school last week. And it's starting to get colder now, right? And so I'm like, oh, hey, it's starting to get cold. She's like, yeah, it's getting a little chilly. And I'm like, yeah, it's about that time of year. I'm like, the good old days. I'm like, I'm going to have to start getting your sweaters in the morning, putting them in the dryer so they're all warm. And that way when you walk out of the house, you have a nice, warm little sweater. She's like, yeah. She's like, the good old days. And then I'm like, yeah, that's true. I'm over here like, pendeja, stupid. I'm like, yeah. And then she because we're walking side by side towards the classroom. And then she turns to me and looks me straight in the face with a straight face and goes, not. And I felt so fucking stupid. I was like, oh, okay, we're choosing violence this morning.
So I woke up like, I choose violence.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna fuck with my mom this morning. But kids do the craziest things.
Yeah. Oh man, that's funny. Oh shoot. Okay, so That was a good, it's a good topic.
Yeah. When they start twerking, and you're like, "What are you doing?
Yeah,
You're
bro.
4. Stop it."
I know. It's like, I don't know. Maybe that's me getting older. But no, because I remember being like an early bloomer, a little precoz. So it's like ahead of my days. I was 13, I feel like, when I woke up one day just knowing everything. But it's still like preteens, you know?
Yeah,
I feel like it's still normal.
yeah.
Like, you know, like,
yeah. Like they're not even in like grade school.
Exactly.
And they're like, you want to see me twerk? No, I don't want to see you
That's
twerk.
the thing. Like,
Who taught
know
you? And then she goes, my mom.
Wait, I know. So like, I don't know. But anyways, I don't have a kid yet, so I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know
good
what
luck.
I would do. But did I say yet? I never. I wait. No sé. Anyways. Okay. So, kids, jiu-jitsu. I feel like that's a good like topic of translation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we do have kids jiu-jitsu classes for kids. So
we do.
Right.
Shout out to Tempe South Bay. Free promo marketing.
You know what's up. So yeah, jiu-jitsu. What got you into jiu-jitsu?
So I had just gotten out of a very serious relationship, and I needed an outlet.
Yeah.
I needed to have something where I was not trying to punch people on the street, which I wasn't. But you know, like
this is consensual.
And so I have a bunch of friends, and so I asked around like, hey, what do you do to like, relieve stress and whatnot? And a group of my friends, they did jiu-jitsu, and they were like, just come to class. And I was like, okay. So then I went, and then that was a wrap. I liked it. It gave me anxiety, but it like gave me things to work on.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to work on myself.
Yeah.
So that's what got me into it, having friends in the community already, me wanting to look for something where I can like relieve stress and like channel like some feelings.
Yes.
Yeah,
I feel that. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's such a deep topic. Like, I don't know what to
ask.
Exactly.
I mean, you can ask whatever. I'm an open book. It's okay.
Okay. So, did you find it hard at the beginning to, grapple with your demons and plus figuring yourself out in jiu-jitsu and stuff like that?
I mean, so I've been doing jiu-jitsu for like 3 years now. I think I'm still dealing with like my jiu-jitsu demons, right? Like, I don't know, like, at least for me, technically you're still working on yourself. Athletically you're working on yourself, and then you're also working on like your ego and like the personalities in the gym, and then how you're reacting to other people. And I feel like all of those things are continuous like ways and like where you can improve in jiu-jitsu. Like it's like a lifestyle, like you have to. And so in the beginning, I think the biggest difference is that before I would go to class, I would have like anxiety, really bad anxiety, like, fuck, I don't want to go. Like, deep down, I know I want to be there, but my body, my survival is like, I don't want to go. Like, I'm gonna fucking, my hands are gonna be sweaty. I have to fucking be physical. I have to like, I'm gonna be pinned down. I'm gonna be choked, or I'm gonna choke somebody. Like, that makes me feel uncomfortable. And like, I had a really bad relationship before that, where it was a lot of abuse, and so to transition, it was really hard, like mental health wise, but I knew triggers. But I knew over time like it was going to do more like positive in my life than bad. So sticking through that, and then like it actually took me a while to lose that like edge, but through time, it just kind of gradually went away. But other than that, I mean, I still struggle, Now it's like, I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to be hurt.
Yeah.
You know, like I want to be respectful. I want to own my space. I want people to be able to own their space. I want communication. You know, so it's like now it's just more like the nuances. So yeah.
Okay.
Fuck those demons.
I know. I know, but it's interesting to see like how Jiu-Jitsu has brought many different people for many different reasons, you know, together. And I feel like personally, I don't have a bunch of experience in like other gyms, because I kind of feel like this has been it for me. um, um, like I just walked into like La Mesa Allegiance, and they told me there was a 7:30 class, and I was like, okay, there was a 6:30 and a 7:30, so I came to the 7:30 because it aligned more with my schedule, and it ended up being PG and Donna, so it's kind of being it for me. The funny thing is that I was avoiding 10 Planet people because like I thought they were hardcore, and I wanted something like suiting in like a small gym, which at the time when I was living in La Mesa, it was like that gym that was like 5 minutes away from my house or apartment. And I feel like, you know, Donna, how she's great, you know, I just feel like latching onto her as a coach, and like, you know, now I have to drive 30 minutes to the gym, but it's worth it to me because I feel like the community that we have, well, like the coaches, how the coaches are, like Alan, Rachel, PJ, they're like super great and understanding of like whatever you're coming from. Like if you tell them, because I know like I have talked to Donna, all see me cry, you know, it's like I feel like they have a notion of like when you come from somewhere like they're able to work with you. I don't know. I don't know many other gyms, like, cause like I say, like this is my experience with 10 Planet South Bay, but it has been like a really great experience to me. Like I don't know. Now that I'm moving away because of the military, it's like I'm kind of scared of like where life will take me, and if I were find something similar to what we have, like I'm kind of scared of like honestly letting go, because like I feel like this is it, but I'm also feel like I'm getting pushed to, you know, to like,
I mean, you're hopeful. I hope, you know, it's scary, but it makes sense because I started at another gym, and my coach moved. I think it was maybe like fall of 2022, and so everyone kind of just stopped. Like our whole little crew stopped going, and we're kind of in limbo. But I spent the winter and like the first 2 months of 2023 going to different gyms. So I probably went to like 10 different gyms in San Diego, and I've got to experience what's out there. And one of the people that was in my little group, it was like, hey, come to South Bay, you know, like check it out here. They don't have their own gym yet, but you know, come check it out. And same class that you went to. And I was like, okay, cool. I went, and instantly I was like, yes. Because it's more than just the welcoming. It's the quality of the training. It's the structure of classes. It's the atmosphere, you know, like that, all of that plays like a huge role in just the quality of like your gym experience. And 100%, like what they have here in South Bay is like top tier. In terms of like atmosphere and education, like jiu-jitsu knowledge. It's just like it's not easy to find that. And it's not easy to find, I feel like, something so branded be more personal and not so corporate. True. If that makes sense. You know?
Totally.
Like, it doesn't feel like I'm walking into like
just another Tempe.
Well, no, I don't want to say that because that's not true. But
just another franchise.
Just another franchise, you know, that it's like, oh, you know that it's a transaction.
Yeah.
Versus here, like, yeah, I pay you, but I know that I'm getting something out of it. I'm getting quality out of it.
Yeah.
So I know what you mean. I'm like, my advice would just be, you're gonna have to shop around. You're gonna have to expose yourself until you find something that clicks.
True. Let's talk about that. Let's not talk about that.
I was like, you're gonna cry.
Okay, so tell me about 3 of the most influential people in your life. Oof. And how they have impacted you.
Definitely number 1 is my grandma. She raised me for pretty much my whole life. She old school Mexican, you know, like stay at home mom, loves you unconditionally. I think her loving me unconditionally and showing me affection, it definitely helped shape like the way I give love. And just it always sticks with me with her. You know how like los hermanos, the brothers and sisters, they get jealous. Yeah. And they're like, oh, do you love her more than me? Blah, 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 right? But my mom, oh my tummy. But my mom was always like, love is infinite. Love is for everyone. And so I was never jealous or anything. And I don't feel like we should be in the world because love is fucking huge, you know, like just because I give my love to you doesn't mean I can't give it to someone else. And it's like,
I love that.
So that's what that influences me a lot. It's like the love is for everyone. It goes around. Yeah, so definitely my mom, aka my grandma. The second person to influence my life, like growing up or in general?
In general,
I mean,
like
for sure, my kid. You know, my kid influences me. She's definitely anchored me and brought like focus to my life. Because I would consider myself like a nomad. Like I like to move around, like to different states, different cities. Like I'm just like, I lived in New York City for a while. I lived in Santa Cruz. You know, I lived in Mexico. Like, cool, yeah, like I like that. But when I got pregnant, like you want stability for your child. So she basically anchored me, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it gave me more structure, and like, you know, I wouldn't have the relationships and the experience as a mom to, you know, build off of that if it wasn't for her. Well, if it wasn't for me, because, you know, I had to make her.
Exactly.
But she's great. Great. I think the third person, and this is kind of weird because it's not a good person, but definitely that particular individual had a very like unhealthy relationship with, and through all the abuse and everything, it's taught me a really important lesson.
I love that you mentioned that because like I understand the duality of having conflicting feelings, like that I don't like to categorize like neither good or bad. So I love that you mentioned it and you're able to like give space to him because it's like regardless of what happened and how much like whatever pain caused me, it's like it has taught me something. Right. I feel like it has shaped me. So it's like I do not resent. Well, I don't know about you, but right, like.
So I know what you mean. Yeah. And like so the way I've come to think about it is, you know how they're like, what doesn't break you makes you stronger? Yeah. And like, that's basically what we're saying, but that's a stupid ass phrase. Yes. The real thing, for me at least, is like, through struggle, through, in our case, abuse, through conflict, like, we're getting challenged, we're getting pushed, we're getting molded, and then how we react and overcome it shapes us. Exactly. And it does make us stronger. Yeah. And so I started viewing things that happened that were on like the extremely bad end of things as blessings, ironically, because they were giving me opportunities to challenge myself and grow as a human and as a person. And I think that's beautiful. So I don't say, oh, I wish that never happened to me, or I wish, you know, I've never met him. But at the end of the day, it's like, it happened and I'm glad I did, because I am who I am because of that experience. I don't think I would have grown to who I am now if it wasn't for my mom, if it wasn't for my kid, if it wasn't for him. And it's weird, right? Like, he's not getting credit for
exactly, because it's all you.
It's all me.
Yeah.
But my experience with him is like definitely what shaped me.
Yeah. I get what you're saying totally. Yeah.
I guess that's part of growing up too, right? Like I feel like that is like one of those life lessons. What is it called? Pieces of nuggets of wisdom.
Yeah.
That you kind of accumulate as you grow old.
How do you came to acceptance? Because I feel like in my journey, I'm still in like, I'm like grappling with the feelings that like, fuck, that happened to me. It sucks, you know, type of stuff. Like I have a hard time like accepting that it happened, it's in the past, and I'm safe now.
So like, for me, right, accepting. You're not really accepting what happened, because it happened. For me, it's like I had to accept that I was a victim in order to accept it.
Shit.
Because the number one reason why I wasn't seeking help, why I wasn't, creating space was because I didn't want to view myself as a victim.
I feel like that's
and I felt like if I viewed myself as a victim, and it was really hard for me to say that word, if I viewed myself that way, then it made it real, then I had to accept it. And then I had to accept that I was weak. I had to accept that I was defenseless. I had to accept that I couldn't stand up for myself. I had to accept that I didn't have boundaries. So that was the acceptance for me, is to label myself as a victim. Or you can switch that and say I'm a survivor. But yeah, that's how I accepted it, is figuring out what is that one word or what is that one thing that's stopping you from accepting it. Like, what is it? And for me, it was viewing myself as a victim, because we're Mexican, we're fucking macho still, even though we're women, we're strong. Oh no, blah 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 blah. But like, to humble yourself and look at yourself objectively and be like, you know what, I was a victim of domestic violence. And then once I accepted that, everything else just, then I opened up space to work on the other things. I don't know if that like resonates with you at all.
Yeah, I feel like for me it comes like in childhood stuff, like kind of with my parents, because like I feel like they would never allow me to say that I'm a victim, because like I live a really good life. I had never, like, I never saw struggle growing up, but I don't feel like
it's bullshit. Sorry.
No, I agree. It's like I love them, but I know that they did hurt me, like whenever they disciplined me.
Was it like they like hit you a lot?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. With the belt.
It's abuse.
So I know, like in Jiu-Jitsu, like it has been like, I've noticed like at the beginning at least, like, well, no, todavía, because it's like I freeze. That's like my trauma response. Like I freeze and I don't do anything.
I think that's normal though. I think it's normal
because
to
people
freeze.
like yeah, I guess yes, but I feel like there's people that they're fight.
Yeah, they're like
fight or
scrappy.
Fight. Yeah, we talk about like some cool white belts that we're not gonna name, but they don't know what they're doing, but they're doing it with conviction.
They're
it's like
scrappy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's
and
they're doing it, and I'm like I don't know if it's like jealous would be a good word to put it, but I feel like I wish that was my trauma response, because like I feel like, and I know where it comes from, where like I was trained to not defend myself.
So like really quick, so like jealousy, right? It's like, I don't think so. I think you actually admire them, and you're upset with yourself because you cannot do that.
So I feel like there's,
you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like dig a little deeper.
Yes. I feel like
what do you really? What is it really causing you to feel?
I feel like that's exactly it.
I also think, I mean, I have similar thoughts, and I think maybe our approach to jiu-jitsu or pretty much everything varies from person to person. And like, you know, like, I don't know, we can probably work on our cardio and be a little more scrappy. Or maybe we're just a little slower to work, you know? I don't know. But I feel you. I feel you. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I love it. I love it. Jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu.
It's so fun. It exposes so much.
Yes. I love it. I love when Donna said that it's exposure therapy because it has been for me at least.
That's good.
It
makes me feel like naked. Like everyone can see everything, you know, and like,
oh shit, never thought about
when
that.
we freeze,
Never thought about that.
No one really cares at the same time.
No, of course, right?
They're not like, oh, look at that.
Look at that.
She
froze. But I guess, yeah. People feel that because it's like, when's the choke coming on? Bitch? Yeah. I'm like, I don't know what to do.
You're waiting. You're like,
exactly. I'm like,
did we stop?
Right? Oh my god, that's all I know. Okay. So, do you remember your mid-20s? Being in your mid-20s?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I know it's like a little bit weird question.
Like the worst time of my life.
But yeah, that's how this podcast was born. So every person that I bring into the podcast, I'm like, okay, this is a question. If there's a team, this is it. It's like it was born out of a mid-20s crisis. It's like kind of like me being dazed and confused. So that's kind of what the name of the podcast. So do you remember being your mid-20s and what was your crisis?
I mean, yeah, I just got out of jail. I was never convicted. But my whole world was like turned upside down. Like I was about to graduate college. I have my kid. You know, like I was just about to start my brand new job, like literally the day before. And so, yeah, my crisis was being in a relationship where it was just like very abusive and in every which way, right? And so, pretty much, having to deal with coming out and then not having a place to live anymore, and then having to get my daughter back, and then working through the legal court system, and now I'm like grateful, you know, I'm like, I've learned a lot. I can say though, like I've hit rock bottom, and at least that was my rock bottom. I lived in a shelter for some time. So if I can make it through there, then I can pretty much make it through anything.
Yes. That's amazing.
So I try to put it into perspective. Like if I struggle now, I'm like, girl, like you went through a lot. You know, you were in a shelter, you blah, 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 blah. Like you can do it.
Yeah, I love
that.
Si se puede.
I like that movie.
I know.
Gotta Kick It Up. You remember that movie? Or no?
No. Just easy? No. That's me though.
It's a cheerleader movie, but it's like a Spanglish.
Oh,
it's beautiful. Okay. It's beautiful. It's for the culture.
Watch it. Yeah,
you do. It's really nice. Movie night.
Okay.
But yeah, I do remember it, and yeah, I was pretty dazed and confused, but jiu-jitsu helped. Jiu-jitsu helped a lot.
What advice would you give to somebody that may be going through the same stuff, or like maybe like, you know?
So my advice would be, if you feel trapped, if you feel like you can't go anywhere, they're always gonna say start with like an escape plan. Like that's fine and dandy, but what helped me is like I was already trying to be a better person while I was in that relationship. So as I was working on myself, I was realizing that there was somebody else who was working against me. And they didn't want to work on themselves. So honestly, the best remedy to remove yourself from any like negative energy or people or situations is to literally just keep working on being a better you. That's like a natural organic repellent to everything that's not right in your life, because it'll get exposed.
Yeah.
And then you'll start looking at things from a different perspective. Like, oh shit, like, I'm trying to do this. I'm like, but homeboy's not doing it. Like, he's kind of not a cool person, you know?
Yeah.
Or like my friend's not being very nice. Like, she's kind of shitty. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. That's my advice, is just try to be a better you, because eventually you'll realize, like, I deserve more.
Yeah.
I deserve better. I'll write myself.
I love that.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming. Thank you so much for giving me the time and space, and for, allowing me to take you to this Batman memory lane. Yeah. But,
okay, I've been in therapy for years.
we learn. And we're gonna end it with what doesn't kill you make you strong.
Really?
The song, yeah.
What doesn't kill you make you strong. Yeah, see, no, I can't do it.
It's just like, it feels like, it's one of those things that I have to do now.
Okay.
We have to end it like that. Okay. Thank you for coming, Brenda.
Thanks.
Episode, give us a like, a share, or a review on Spotify or wherever it is you're listening. Make sure to subscribe to the show in iTunes or Spotify so you'll never miss a show. If you'd simply like to tell a friend about the show, that will help us out too. If you share on Instagram, don't forget to tag me. I love to see your thoughts and insight. Have a wonderful week. Sending you energetic strength your way. No matter what you're going through, I believe in you, so fight back. Be sure to tune in for our next episode, and I'll see you in the next one.